You say, Giggles, what do you do to the shower room? You know the sound's horrible in there. It is, but I got my beer, and I don't have to disturb other people in their bunks. You know, there's another guy, another thru hiker, up at the bunkhouse where I'm staying, and I don't want to mess around with him, but I want some good light where you can see me, and I don't know, maybe you can hear me good, and maybe it adds a little bit of something to the whole situation. This little bit of echo that I kind of like. But yeah, I'm at Nantahala Outdoor Center, the NOC. There's actually, believe it or not, most people know this one in North Carolina, but there's also one over in Irwin, Tennessee, and one somewhere between here that I saw. This is the big daddy though. You come off the mountain and you look at the buses, and they have like 30 buses just ready to put rafts on. Go down the Nantahala River, and then when you cross over the thing, the trail crosses right over in this place. You look over and you see where they had the canoe route for the competition, the 1996 Olympics in Atlanta, and it's still up there. So I'm assuming they still do some races down the river here, but it's pretty cool to see that because I always thought that was kind of an interesting sport. And Atlanta's the first time I kind of saw that one. Before that, I didn't know that was even in the Summer Olympics. So it's cool to actually see where it is. And I've been seeing lots of no-bows, and we had the shelter full last night with me and some 4 no-bows, and they were actually cool this time. Some of them have been a little bit too gung-ho on the hiking 24 miles a day and all that stuff. Because, you know, your first ones, they want to be the first one to finish or whatever. Now I'm kind of getting into the cooler, more relaxed, just all about the feel type of deal and enjoying the trail and all that. So it's been cool seeing these no-bows because I get to tell them, you know, look, when you get to the whites, I need to tell you guys this because I know there's some no-bows listening. When you get to the whites and you get in the huts, try to get morning duty. Don't leave that hut till 9 o'clock because if you leave earlier, then you're going to miss the mountains because the clouds, they'll be clouded up till about 12 or 1 o'clock. But if you stay there till 9, you'll be up at the mountain about 1 o'clock, and then you'll get to see all the good stuff. So there's little tricks like that when you've done the trail, you know, and you want to pass on to the other guys. Like, oh, this hostel was nice, and this is good, and that. It's cool to exchange information. And then I'm asking them about what's the NOC like on my way down here. You know, they're like, oh, they got the food. And they do, as long as you get in here before 6 o'clock. But by the time a lot of you guys start, I hear in about 2 weeks it's going to be fully operational. It's kind of a ghost town right now, but you can tell it's a cool place when it's cranking. It's just early in the year, so enjoying it because it's supposed to be, it's a 100% chance of rain today, but I put in 15 miles dry. Rained heavy in the morning, and it's supposed to be a 100% chance of rain tonight. So to be at a bunkhouse, it's a luxury, and I wasn't expecting to have a cheeseburger tonight. Or a beer. So when you're getting these calories and you're not expecting it, it's a real treat. I even got some trail magic today. There was some sodas out on a table near a road crossing, and I got to talk about this. So one of my favorite places in Maine to camp was Antlers Campsite, and that's about halfway through the 100-mile wilderness. It's another thing. If you're going to hike this trail, listen up because this is one heck of a campsite. And both no-bows and so-bows miss it a lot of the times and go past it because they'll hit it about middle of the day. But if you set up right for it, Antlers Lake, and not only that, when you get there, go to the point, the far point. Go there and bathe. It's a perfect spot to bathe. No one will see. You can be totally naked at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And by the time you guys get up there, the sun will be going down at 9 o'clock at night anyway. So go do that, and you can put your tent right there on that corner, and you can see all directions on that lake. So I met this guy and this girl and her mother, and he was from Maine. At first, he had an accent, I could tell, but it's been a while since I've been to Maine. I was like, this guy's a foreigner or something, you know. And He's like, yeah, Antlers Campsite. I was like, yeah, I stayed there. I love that place. He said, my great-grandfather owned that as a fishing camp back around 1900. It's like over 100 years ago. And he said, not only that, he said, we got engaged right there at Antlers because it's, close to my family and all that. And I was like, man, that was one of my favorite top places in all of Maine to camp. So to see that and talk to that guy, it's like the thing that Jung came up with synchronicity. It's absolutely true. But it seems like you got to be on the trail to really get it, or perhaps maybe you got to be working real hard or be in the groove or that flow state. I don't know what it is. It'll be interesting to see if this stuff keeps happening after the trail. But to meet somebody from Maine and talk about a particular campsite that I loved and that he has a family interest in loves, it's just very unique. And I've had I would say 4 or 5 experiences similar to that. Probably more little things where you're just thinking about something on the trail. You come into town, someone's talking about the same random thing that happened historically, or something a movie from 25 years ago, that no one cared about, but they'll be talking about in the bar the next day. I'm not saying there's any, I don't know, spiritual stuff going on there, but there's something interesting happening. I don't know what it is, but it sure the heck interests me. And I got a taste of it today. So I know they subscribe to the deal, so hopefully they're listening. And it was really neat meeting you folks. And that was a beautiful view where we were sitting. And there was those sodas there that someone left. And I had me a free Coca-Cola today, right in the middle of the day, when I needed a good caffeine bump. So I wanted to tell you guys about that. Mountains have been beautiful. The Smokies, I already told you, were just unbelievable. And I was thinking some stuff I left out, but hell, I can't think anymore. So, and I got to get my beer down, and I got to get to bed because I got to get on to Franklin. I'm going to take a 0 in Franklin and probably a 0 in Hiawassee. Those are my last 2 towns, and I'm done with this baby. I got about half left and half the trail left. So about 75 miles left in North Carolina, about 75 left in Georgia. And I'm loving these South Carolina people. They're a lot like me. And Texans in a way. They kind of talk like we do a little bit. And I just met some outstanding young men. One gave me I got to tell you about this kid, Chase, 18, and he gave me a ride into Fontana. And they had a big fireman deal at the village of Fontana. They're all coming to get classes on their, they're all volunteer firefighters, or maybe the other type too, the regular firefighters, but they're all doing their classes right now at the village. And he was there, and he's studying to become an emergency management type of guy. And I got to talk with him, and then he invited me in to have a snack with him and a Mountain Dew and just talk. And sometimes you just get an 18-year-old and you can tell they got they're just real bright and can talk and know how to deal. And it's special when you get those type of people. And I've met quite a few here in North Carolina, it seems. So I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. And I'm sure Georgia will be similar too. So just loving the trail. And I only have about a week and a half, 2 weeks. But I just take it day to day. And I'm enjoying every bit of it even now. I can't get too antsy. Yeah, I think about it a little bit. But I just got to think about getting to Franklin, doing my deal. And then when I get there, I just got to think about Hiawassee. And, see these no-bows get me hyped up too. When I was starting out and I saw the no-bows, they didn't want to stop because there was so many of us and there was so many of them. They just, we got tired of talking to each other. But right now, it's such an odd deal to be a southbounder because it's only me that I know of. So they all want to talk to me, and it's like I got to stop, 2 minutes with every guy I pass, and I'm passing 5 or 6 guys. Of course, I'm enjoying it, but there's There's sometimes where I'm like, okay, dude, I just told the same story and all that, but these guys are loving it. You know, they've been on the trail for 2.5 weeks, and they're just getting into it. They're just getting their socks wet and all that, and it's great. And most of these guys, it seems like they got their act together. I see a few people where it's like, yeah, you need to maybe change your gear up a little or something, but it's just cool to see some fresh faces and see these guys who are attempting a long, long journey that is fun. So I'm going to leave you with that. And I'm going to try to get with you when I get to the next town here in Franklin. That's going to be probably 2-3 days. And I think they got a brewery there, something Lazy Hiker Brewery. So we'll see if we can do a podcast there. And I'll update you about what happens at the end. Because we're going to have a big party when we get to this, Springer Mountain too. And I don't know if I can get a signal there, but we'll do something. I'm gonna record it, but we're going to do some partying. So talk to you guys.